evening and welcome to the Pelican Sports Post-Game Show. Your final score from Tiger Stadium, Alabama 10, LSU 0. If you had 0-0 on the old pool boards, you're a happy person tonight. You get a sweep. I'm Tommy Chrysan, joined by the Bud Man, Buddy Sanji. Buddy, your initial reaction to 10-0 Bama final score?
You know, the last three times, TK, that we have done the post-game LSU-Bama here, 12, 14, and 16, it's been Heartbreak City. LSU played so well in so many areas, couldn't get enough offensively, couldn't take advantage of a couple of turnovers. But let's give credit where credit's due. Alabama, really, really good football team, one of Nick's best defensive teams. LSU had problems getting the play in on time, had problems completing balls, had problems running up the gut. It was just a tough night for the LSU offense, and when we talk about this game, the defense wore down, TK.
I think you put, when you say tough night on the LSU offense, I think you credit the Bama defense.
Sure.
Nick Saban made a statement third or fourth week of the season. He thought it was his fastest defense he ever had.
Yeah.
That got my attention. I mentioned it on the radio, and as other people said, there was just not a lot of holes out there, and I mean the Bama defense, arguably the best in the nation, best in the country, maybe the best they've ever had. As they, LSU's got a lot of talent. Edlin didn't have the best of nights, but he was under a lot of pressure, got knocked down a lot, got hit a lot, and just did not get it going.
Darius Geis only 2 carries. The way Leonard Fournette was carrying the football, I certainly don't agree with that mindset. You didn't see Fournette and Geis in the same backfield at the same time. LSU kind of wanted to go line up, had a lot of fullback in, had a lot of double tights. TK, we talked about all week long, winning on first down. Great start to the game. Boy, I tell you what, you talk about the stars on defense. Dwayne Thomas, look, he gave him bulletin board material, but he backed it up, playing fantastic. Dave Aranda with an incredible game plan to move Dwayne Thomas in that slot and bring him on the corner. He did a great job of disrupting the true freshman quarterback. We know all the guys had their moments on defense. Goal line stand, blocked field goal right out of the gate, the gate. Jamal Adams with the INT. LSU doesn't score. Just a tough loss to a really, really good Alabama team. Boy, it was all there. The electricity, the excitement. Just not enough offense for the Tigers tonight. But I am mystified that Geis didn't get a few more opportunities.
One of the keys, obviously, is not capitalizing on a couple of turnovers. The INT, the fumble, didn't get anything out of it.
Yeah.
Obviously, they ended up with a goose egg. But, this LSU team played good, hard football. A lot of talent. Some people we got some text messages already, no offensive line. I thought the offensive line did good. I'm not going to say great. I'm going to say good. I thought they did good. But again, you're playing the best defense in the nation. They are going to make plays. They're going to make tackles for losses. They're going to sack the guy. They're going to hit the quarterback. They shut Fournette down again. And they didn't run their mouth, but I guarantee you in their little private meetings they said Fournette is not going to be the guy that beat us. If somebody else does it, they do it. I thought he ran a little tentative a few times. Maybe the ankle's not 100%. Well, certainly it's probably not 100%, but maybe it's a little less than we thought. But the bottom line is Alabama was the better team tonight. Because if you look at it from the Bama side, they made a couple of mistakes. They didn't capitalize inside the red zone. They missed a field goal. It was a great game to watch. I think the fans were fired up and stayed with them. And, Bama ends up with the win.
Just wish that LSU's offense, I'm not going to give the offensive line a good grade like you did, but they were okay. Bottom line, TK, is you're talking about some incredible defensive linemen, Allen, Williams, Foster. A couple calls that the referees went, you knew that they were going to go towards the Alabama side of things.
I thought the refs held the flags in a lot tonight.
Yeah, they didn't determine the winner. They didn't determine the winner. Tre'Davious White's got to be smarter catching a punt at the 2-yard line. Devin White got to be smarter than knocking him out of bounds. All in all, good effort, but you know what? LSU people and fans aren't into moral victories.
All right, phone number 225-928-4910. Text line, which is going crazy. Somebody wants Les Miles back. Best football LSU's ever played. Text line, area code 504-689-9246. Let's go to Bill in Gonzales. Bill, you're on the postgame show. Good evening.
All right, guys. How y'all doing tonight?
Doing good, Bill, considering we just watched a hell of a game, but shutout, and that leaves you with a little bit of an empty feeling.
Exactly. I agree. And I tell you what, just think where we would have been, as we talked before during previous games, at the end of September. You know, if we would have had the same old, not embarrassed like last year. And one positive, I didn't think about this because I was kind of flabbergasted losing to Bama again. But at the end of when hearing y'all sum up the game when you came on air, Alabama, we broke their trend of the defensive touchdown. So we got one thing in our favor.
That is correct. 10 straight games, TK, and 12 this year with non-offensive touchdowns. Look, controversy on the interception. Bill, did you think, and we didn't think they were going to overturn it, TK, you saw it.
No, I was en route here, and I was listening to Chris Blair and Doug Morrow. Gordy Rush from the sideline said he saw a replay where the ball hit the ground.
Yeah.
So, again, I was in transit.
But you know that's not going to be overturned.
I was in transit on the way, so I didn't see it.
And I'm like y'all, I didn't think it was going to be overturned because the final replay that CBS kept showing, the DB had the ball hooked in his left arm. You know, although it touched, it was in his arm. But I think the Tigers did extremely well tonight. And, I mean, the defense played up. They were real good, and the only thing is, it seemed like late in the game, and I know they were probably getting Tucker because they were on the field the whole game. They quit putting the pressure up the middle, and I know they had to watch for the pass because Hurts got lucky on that one long pass, you know, which eventually, when the Tigers had their goal line stand. But and that's what I think that was the difference, maybe. But then again, you know, overall, I'm very proud of them. I feel much better than I did last year. And I just hope they keep playing that well because they got to get everything taped up and tightened up again for next week because them Hogs are waiting for us.
Thank you, Bill.
All right, Bill, we appreciate the call. Let's go to DJ in Gonzales.
Dial us back up, DJ.
Not there. Let's go to Ron in Baton Rouge. Ron, you're on the postgame show.
Well, thank you for taking my call.
Hey, Ron.
Well, look, I didn't like the play calling at all tonight. I just thought that they just went back to their old style. It looked to me like Cameron was still in there calling the plays.
You know, Ron, we were having this discussion as we got over here and watched the last a quarter and a half. And look, I agree with that assessment, TK and Ron, but the problem is when you see the kind of push that the Alabama defensive line was given the LSU offensive line, there just wasn't anything that was very easy to call. They were trying to run the ball. They couldn't get that established. Danny did miss a couple of shots that would have picked up first downs that maybe would have helped the defense a little bit, but he was under duress all night long. And you got to understand, Ron, for Danny Etling, this is the first game of this magnitude. He'll be better for this. But I will say this, TK. Coach Ensminger did have a little trouble tonight getting the play in on time. And I think that, Ron, that was part of it. But you got to give Bama's defense a lot of credit for that.
Well, the problem I had was the receivers weren't even going down 10 yards.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought that, TK, what did you think about the game plan? You know, Etling, you could tell early. First play of the game, he throws it high to Malachi. Malachi makes a good and then the third play of the game, or the second play, Trayvon Durrell's wide open right there. Danny misses him. Then you get a bad call, and you get out a 49-yarder block.
Edling didn't have his best game. That's obvious. Here's some text messages. Too much.
I didn't think the referees treated us too well either. I thought our players were.
Well, that wasn't a factor in who determined the winner, though. Not tonight. They didn't help LSU, but they didn't determine the winner tonight. Anything else, Ron?
All right, Ron, appreciate it. Thank you. Let's go to Brady in Shreveport. Brady, you're on the postgame show.
Brady, go ahead.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to Jordan in Gonzales. Jordan, you're on the postgame show. Hello, Jordan.
Hi, yes. I just want to talk about Dawson Odoms, the Southern coach. I think he should be hired as LSU's new coach. He's terrible.
All right, he won't be. Southern did win their 6th in a row, but he's not going to do that. We are going to take a break. Keep up, buddy.
Out.
Text message. Too much Fournette. Why didn't Geis play? That's the point you made.
I can't believe
Alabama
Geis
was better at. Hold on, let me go through. Better at the line of scrimmage. Ole Miss put 40 on that defense. The reason the quarterback. My guess is we win only one more game. We won't even make a bowl. Coach O solidifies case. He'll have to finish with wins. Coach O did a great job not having a spring and a summer to work with this team as the head coach. So a lot of people all about Coach O. We'll take a break, come back. We're going to continue with the phone calls. We're going to continue with the text messages. Reports from the stadium are not that far off. Buddy Sanji, Tommy Chrysan, Pelican Sports Postgame Show on WUBR, 9:10 a.m. The smartphones for you folks in traffic, the internet, and, of course, Pelican Sports TV. Baton Rouge, Lafayette, New Orleans, and on the internet at PelicanSportsTV.com. Stay with us.
Here at Rejuva-Me Medical, we strive to accomplish a more youthful you. We specialize in the most advanced techniques of testosterone replacement therapy in men, bioidentical hormone replacement in women, IV therapy, and nutritional support along with the state-of-the-art cosmetics procedures. Experience a network of trainers and health coaches offering diet and nutritional plans tailored to you. Call us today to schedule your free consultation to discuss your individual needs and goals. Look like you live younger.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
Hello, my name is Debbie. Welcome to Debbie's Bridal, a Formal Affair.
My name is Raven. I work at Debbie's Bridal, and she makes your dreams come true.
Accord Eye Clinic Vision Source is located on Perkins Road in Baton Rouge, offering full-service optical and lab work. Dr. Shonda Accord and the professionally trained staff pride themselves on service, complete eye exams, help with contact lenses, and selection of frames featuring Silhouette, Gucci, Jimmy Choo, and all the top lines. State-of-the-art equipment including Optimap, which digitally photographs your retina. Call Accord Eye Clinic for an appointment, 225-767-3937. That's 225-767-3937. Visit the website, visionsource-br.com. All patients of all ages are welcome. Accord Eye Clinic, Vision Source. Again, final score 10-0 Bama, 0-0. If you had that on the office board or the pool, you're in really, really good shape with the sweep. Let's go to Bill in Baton Rouge. Bill, you're on the postgame show.
TK and Buddy, how y'all tonight?
Good.
I'm a little disappointed, but what can you say, man? Alabama's got a hell of a defense.
Frank?
Yeah.
What
no, it ain't Frank.
Yeah, it's Frank.
Changed his name on you, buddy.
Frank, imagine that. They can't get over anything over me.
Well, it was something about some brownies, so I went along.
I told him. I told him if you didn't call the show tonight, I'd get him brownies from the girlfriend. Well, guess what?
Frank, that's good stuff.
I recognize you, Frank. I recognize the voice. Frank, why? You hate to gripe about little.
Do what now?
You hate to gripe about things after a game like that, but I really thought they botched with Darius Geis tonight.
Well,
Fournette to me was
like
not
you said,
his best.
they didn't protect the quarterback. That poor son of a gun got beat up.
They did,
and he's not really that mobile.
No.
So that's what lost the game, I think.
Well, look, TK, you talked about it all week. We did as well. The offensive line had an incredible task. Jonathan Allen and Tim Williams and Reuben Foster and all those guys are just so. But I didn't think LSU, you didn't see any of Geis and Fournette in the backfield at the same time. Tigers had 6 first downs and 125 yards. Frank, disappointed with utilization. After Chark caught the big long ball, you don't see him until the end of the game.
Yeah, but hey, I mean, let's be honest. Alabama had the best team on the field, and LSU gave them a hell of a game, held them scoreless for 3 quarters. And like you said, that's the first game in NCAA this year.
Yeah, no, but Alabama's very, very good, and it showed tonight.
But they're just not quite there on offense yet.
Look, I agree with all that. I just still think Darius Geis deserved more than 2 carries the way Leonard Fournette was running the football tonight.
Well, I agree with you. But what you going to do? Buddy, I want to ask you a question.
Sure.
Do you think, really and truly, that anybody can beat Alabama?
Well, TK and Frank, that remains to be seen, but I think they'll go unblemished until the playoffs, TK.
Well, if they play good football or better than good, I don't think anybody can beat them.
Yeah.
If they have a bad night and somebody else is hitting on all cylinders, yeah, they can be beat. Anybody can get beat. But, they're a very good team. LSU played them off their feet for 3 quarters, had a chance when they got to the 4th quarter. When it's 0-0, everybody's still got a chance. One play can make the difference. Bama made a few more plays when they had to. A lot of talk on the text message line that they were holding Beckwith on the touchdown run by Hurts, and several people texted me that as well. But, we were talking about
I want to say one more thing.
Yeah,
I'm not discouraged about the head coach, Ed Orgeron. I think the man still is a good fit, and until somebody looks him, I don't know. I like the way he plays, but they're not quite there yet.
Good stuff, Frank.
They need a little bit more talent.
Okay, buddy.
Thank you, Frank. Let's go to Rocco in Baton Rouge. Rocco, you're on the post-game show.
Hey, TK, what's happening there, buddy?
Hey, Rocco.
Little hoarse from all the screaming tonight.
All right.
But a couple of observations. We all, I think, pretty much knew that the game was going to be dependent on whether or not LSU could just stretch the field and pass the football. It was no secret that Alabama was going to shut down the run and do everything they can to do that, and they accomplished it. I think there were a couple of issues tonight with clock management that I think obviously stood out and made you look at some things about the pass regime at LSU. And it kind of had some flashbacks there for a second.
Yep.
They really had some opportunities early to score some points. Alabama gave them really two shots on turnovers. And when you're playing in the caliber of game that you're playing in tonight, you absolutely have to get points off those turnovers. I don't think it helped LSU at all.
Well, near the end of the half, they wasted about 30 seconds. They should have called the timeout after first down when they only got 2 yards. Then they waited to call it. And then they called it with 8 seconds left instead of 4 to run the last play, and you allowed Bama to have a snap. Now, nothing happened, but, you want it to be 0 at the end of that. And then a couple of delayed games, couldn't get the play in. Yeah, that's part of it.
Yeah, Coach Insminger and Danny Etlin, the 2 E's, didn't have great games tonight. But, look, I agree with you, Rocco. I think that they had trouble coming up with what they wanted to call. I thought that they were a little inside. They played more in the phone booth than outside. Like I said, DJ Chark caught the long ball. He didn't get many chances. Darius Geis, not in the same backfield with Fournette. I know you still got to block those guys. And you make a great point, Rocco. When you get turnovers against Alabama early like that.
When you get a pick in the first quarter,
you got to get points from it.
40 or 35-yard line.
Yep.
The field goal got deflected, I guess, is a better word than blocked. But No, you got to capitalize, and then you got the fumble in their territory later in the game. Didn't get anything out of it.
Yeah.
Let me
against
just
a
say
team
this
like
too
that,
also.
buddy, you're right. You got to capitalize.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, those are critical points in the ball game, which you have to come away with at least a field goal, at least.
Right.
But the bottom line is defensively, I will tell you, if anybody has ever questioned Dave Miranda's ability as a defensive coordinator, if you watch that game tonight, these guys are finally gelling, and I think he's actually got these guys where he needs them to be now.
Well,
as far as Coach O's concerned, love the guy to death, love Bebe, but I'm going to tell you, I don't think tonight with the mismanagement of the clock helped his cause for remaining the head coach at LSU.
All right, Rocco, appreciate it.
Thank you, buddy.
All right, let's go to Brian in Metairie. Then we're going to get to a break. Brian in Metairie, good evening. You're on the Pelican Sports post-game show.
Yeah, thank you for taking my call. Just a couple of comments, and then I'll hang up and listen.
Okay.
I honestly thought, I'm a big believer where the war is won in the trenches, and I thought we got blown up from the offensive line standpoint.
Yep.
And Edling had no time to throw, and quite honestly, I mean, this is year in and year out now, where our quarterback looks like he's, deer in headlights, because I think it goes back to recruiting or technique, or I don't know what the issue is. But, we're good, we're just not elite. And I think in order to beat Bama and, the teams that make the playoffs, if we want to be in that kind of competition, we need to be elite in the trenches. And same goes for the D-line. I mean, I didn't really see a lot of pressure, and I know that, Hurts can beat you with his legs, but I didn't see a lot of domination in the trenches.
Well, look, Brian,
I don't know if that's recruiting.
That is.
I don't know if that's technique or coaching, but it's extremely frustrating.
Hey, Brian, excellent point. TK, I looked it up this week. Bama had about 18 five-stars. LSU had 6. I know a lot of LSU fans want to think that they've got as much talent as Bama. They do from a skill standpoint. But, Brian, you're making a great point. It's played in between the trenches, and Alabama's line gave Hurts a lot more time than LSU's line gave Etling. And let's ask this question, Brian. Who on LSU's offensive line could start for Alabama?
Only Posick, in my opinion.
Posick's the only one.
And not at center. He'd start
Posick
tackle.
would be the only one.
Posick will be a tackle in the NFL.
They're going to have to address that with recruiting, but and that's, you got to put that on Les, but he's gone, so it is frustrating to see your quarterback under duress. And I thought the LSU
I'll tell you another thing that, and I'm sorry to interrupt, but I'm really frustrated because I actually believe, the stage was set for tonight. And, Edling, look, I get that he was our backup quarterback, but he looked so good at times. And when he had time, it was like he freaked out and threw the ball short and missed on crucial first down opportunities for us. And I'm not saying that would have won the game for us, but it would have kept the ball out of Bama's hands and just, prolonged drives. And quite honestly, Alabama's offense didn't look all that phenomenal. I mean, we missed tackles. When you give Hurts enough opportunities, he's going to beat you. And I felt that our offense didn't make enough first downs to keep the ball out of Hurts' hands, and that's why we lost. And I know Bama's won, but I don't feel like there's a dominated team of college football based off of tonight.
Well, that goes to show you how good the LSU defense was, DK.
But
they were phenomenal.
Thank you, Brian.
Appreciate it. All right, we're going to get to a break, come back, continue with the phone calls and the text messages. Final score, Alabama 10, LSU 0. Buddy Sanji, Tommy Chrysan on WUBR, 9:10 a.m. CBS Sports Radio, Baton Rouge, and, of course, Pelican Sports TV, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, New Orleans, and all over the world on the internet at PelicanSportsTV.com. Stay with us.
Since 1986, the family dental practice of Dr. Farrell Frugier, with state-of-the-art building and technology, and our highly trained staff have been dedicated to providing care and treatment to our patients of all ages. The experience and advanced training in cosmetic and restorative dentistry, TMJ, and treatment of snoring and sleep apnea allows Dr. Frugier to assist you in achieving the best in dental health. Call us today at 225-292-9700 to schedule your initial evaluation because we know how to make you smile.
Friends, family, and community in surrounding parishes who have lost vehicles due to the flood. North American Auto Group is here to help. We have discounted over 400 pre-owned vehicles with no water damage. In addition, we have lenders offering disaster relief financing programs. We will also help you with your insurance and GAP claims. Shop online at NorthAmericanAutoGroup.com or visit us at one of our 4 locations in Baton Rouge and Gonzales. North American Auto Group. We make it easy.
Cypress Lake Apartments are conveniently located off Segan Lane in Baton Rouge. Come see this community, which has many amenities including swimming pools, fitness room, playground, and much more. Beautiful views of Cypress Lake. 1, 2, 3-bedroom apartments are available. Stop by and see Cypress Lake Apartments. Give them a call at 225-293-6789 or visit online, cypresslake-apartments.net.
Attention small business owners. Penn Funding announces the easiest and fastest business funding program, the Platinum Business Account.
We needed cash fast. Business is good, but this is an emergency. We needed some new equipment, and the banks wouldn't help us.
At Penn Funding, we like to say, yes, you're approved. With your Platinum Business Account, you could qualify for up to $50,000 or more. This amazing new business account funding program is so effective, you could have the cash you need in just days.
I called, spoke with an agent who pre-qualified us, and connected me.
Call now for your Platinum Business Account. If you've been in business for at least 6 months, you could qualify for up to $50,000 or more in just days.
I called Penn Funding and had my money fast.
Need cash for your business? Call Penn Funding now.
Call 800-552-8621. 800-552-8621.
Continue with the Pelican Sports post-game show. We're about 9 minutes away from Brian Lazar with a report from Tiger Stadium. But first, let's go to John in Baton Rouge. John, you're on the post-game show.
Yeah, guys, just 2 quick comments, and I'll hang up and listen.
Okay.
But, you know, number one, the Tigers fought hard, but we got to recruit better at certain positions. And my second question is, you know, if you watch the Saints on Sundays, Sean Payton, they're doing all kinds of crazy stuff. And, you know, on Sunday, I think you'll see the Saints really come back strong. And I just want to hang up and listen to your comments about what we can do on the offensive side to get a little bit more creative.
All right, a lot of text messages, same story, lose to Bama again. If we had a quarterback, we'd have won. Edlin didn't have a really good game. He was pressured a lot of that. Yeah, you know, I think what some people are missing tonight is that team might be an undefeated national champion that LSU was just tied with through 3 quarters. Now, I'm not into moral victories, never have been, never will be, but don't lose sight of the fact that who they were playing is pretty damn good. In fact, they're better than damn good. And, you know, quarterback position, you know, Edlin transferred out of Purdue. I mean, we can go through the whole story, but, you know, they certainly, you know, the offensive line I thought did good. You don't agree with me? I thought they did good. Considering who they were playing against.
They were averaging 4 sacks.
They don't put sacks in the box score in college.
6. I just didn't like the fact that they had so much fullback in and not more 3 wides. I know you got to protect Etling, but I just didn't think they had a great game plan offensively, and I didn't think Coach Ensminger called the right plays and got them in on time.
All right, let's go to Roger in Baker. Roger, you're on the post-game show.
Roger, listen to your phone.
Roger? He didn't want to be there, so you know, we got to do phone call at 101 again. 25 years ago, you got to don't listen to the TV or the phone, or you might be on the internet. Don't do that because you got to be on your phone so that when we go to you, you can be right there. But, buddy, let's see a couple more text messages real quick. No quick outlets, no misdirection.
Yeah.
Tonight, Western Kentucky scored 10 points on Alabama.
No tight end. You didn't throw to the tight end until late. Look,
we tried to hit Smith 2 times. Let's see. Why didn't LSU put it in Harris? No, you don't want that.
I say, why didn't they have Darius Geis to have more of a chance?
I think if they could, hindsight's 20/20. It's easy to coach the game now, but I think they would like to know the guy should have got the ball more than 2 times.
You coach by feel. Did you feel like Leonard Fournette was on his game tonight?
No, I thought he was tentative. Maybe his ankle's hurting more than he's leading on.
Quarter. Darius Geis has got to be in that locker room taking his jersey off right now with the Screaming Reds.
Well, maybe,
Not to be an individual and be selfish, but he didn't get a chance.
Fournette's ankle may be hurting more than he's let on.
But that's no reason to continue to run him right up the gut.
Well, yeah, no, you're right.
Where was he for the night?
I had all. Let's see. We want it was
2 yards a carry or less.
Leonard Fournette, buddy, you're a genius. 17 carries, 35 yards. So last year was 19 carries, 31 yards. Geis 2 carries for 8 yards. Danny Etlin on the night, 11 of 24 for only 92 yards, 1 pick. That's not going to get it done.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Let's go to Roger in Baker. Roger, you're on the postgame show.
Come on, Roger.
He's not talking.
Roger.
All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to go to Tiger Stadium. Brian Lazar of TigerBait.com will join us. We'll find out what Coach Orgeron had to say and other things from Brian right after this pause. Buddy Sanji, Tommy Krysan, WUBR, 9:10 a.m. CBS Sports Radio, Pelican Sports TV, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, New Orleans, and on the internet at PelicanSportsTV.com. Stay with us.
Don't let bugs bug you anymore. Call the Bug Man today.
And for termite protection, go green with Centricod. If it's good enough for Lady Liberty in the White House, then it's good enough for you. Eliminate the colony and eliminate termites for good.
Call 923-BUGS today.
Perkins Road Veterinary Hospital is a full-service veterinary hospital committed to your pet's health. We offer advanced diagnostic and therapeutic medical services, laser surgery, dog and cat diets, and treats, along with stress-free boarding. Dr. Ritchie sees patients for routine checkups to keep your loved ones happy, also advanced medical and surgical cases. We have separate condos for cat boarding and large climate-controlled canine boarding. Our boarding dogs get to have fun in a very large play yard several times a day. Laser therapy is a service that we offer to heal wounds and help our patients that suffer from chronic pain. Laser therapy is a wonderful adjunct treatment for neurologic and arthritic pain with no side effects. Your pets are family members and deserve the best and highest quality of care. Dr. Ritchie and his staff greatly respect the human-animal bond and are committed to exceeding your expectations.
Here at Rejuva-Me Medical, we strive to accomplish a more youthful you. We specialize in the most advanced techniques of testosterone replacement therapy in men, bioidentical hormone replacement in women, IV therapy, and nutritional support along with the state-of-the-art cosmetics procedures. Experience a network of trainers and health coaches offering diet and nutritional plans tailored to you. Call us today to schedule your free consultation to discuss your individual needs and goals. Look like you live younger.
Look up to the skies as soon as I
We continue with the Pelican Sports post-game show. Buddy Sanji, Tommy Chrysan with you. We go to Tiger Stadium. Brian Lazar of TigerBait.com. Brian, good evening. How are you?
Doing good. How y'all doing?
Good. What did Coach Orgeron have to say after the game?
Well, I mean, pretty what you could expect. Defense played great. He said there were a couple of third down plays where they let the quarterback get loose. But, they were outstanding all night. And offensively, it wasn't very good. He just continually used the word execution. But, he said they couldn't get the ball in space. The offensive line didn't block. Quarterback didn't complete passes. He said sometimes it was because of pressure. Sometimes there wasn't pressure. He says it just was not a good night for the offense.
Yeah, offensive line, I thought did okay at times, but too much pressure on Etling. I thought they did good. I'm assuming you would disagree with that.
Well, the two tailbacks had 19 carries for 43 yards, so that's an average of a little bit more than 2 yards per pop. And the quarterback got sacked 5 times and had to get scrambled for another. He threw 24 passes. That's 25 pass plays, and 6 times he had to escape pressure. And it's really a 7th because he had that little flip to Jeter when he was going to get sacked. So that means 7 out of 25. So 28% of the time he was under intense pressure. And then he got hit a couple other times when he threw the ball, when he was able to get the ball away. So, yeah, I don't think the offensive line did much all night.
And after listening to you, I'll probably have to reevaluate my statement there. Buddy was correct. It was probably not good. But, Brian, how much of that is the fact that might be the best defense in the land and one of the best defenses Saban's ever had? I mean, those guys are just, it's like there's 14 of them out there.
Well, yeah, you're right. And look, Alabama is the better team. The better team won, period. So, if you want to look at it like that, you can. And the game tonight, the difference, Alabama had the one offensive playmaker in Jalen Hurts. He made plays in the fourth quarter.
Rushed for over 100.
Running the football. LSU has nobody that can make a play. If you want to go back to the quarterback position, you can stay right there. Just look now at this 6-game losing streak that LSU's had. Who have been the quarterbacks? Jordan Jefferson. Zach Mettenberger. Now, Zach, he is on an NFL roster, but then, Anthony Jennings, Brandon Harris, Danny Etling, you're just not good enough at that position to beat a defense the caliber that Alabama and Nick Saban's going to put out there. So,
Brian, disparity with Fournette's carries and Darius Geis. Anybody ask Coach O about that?
No, look, we've seen this before. They're going to. Fournette wants to run the football, so they're going to give him the ball. I don't know. Geis, he had a couple carries tonight. It didn't look like that he was going to have much success. But look, I heard people criticize the play selection early after they got the interception in the first series, and Fournette didn't even touch the ball, and they didn't do anything with it. So, if you think that Fournette's your best player on offense, and, I heard Ed Orgeron last week say he thinks he's the best player in the country. Well, if you think he's the best player in the country, you better give him the football.
Right.
But, he certainly isn't the best player in the country. When they went against Alabama, it's not all his fault. I'm not blaming it on him. You got to give him some holes to run through, and they just don't do that against Alabama. They haven't done it the last 2 or 3 years.
Brian, defense played so well, looked like they got tired, but talk a little bit about what Ed said about Aranda. And it really looked like Coach Aranda had one heck of a scheme to combat Hurts, and Dwayne Thomas and all those guys played so well. Looked like they just kind of ran out of gas after having to be on the field a little bit too much in the second half.
Yeah, a lot of guys played well on defense. Beckwith had 16 tackles. Dwayne Thomas was great early in the game. Lewis Neal had 11 tackles. Duke Riley made some big plays. Look, the defense was spectacular. There's nothing, they played well enough to win the game tonight, but LSU just could do zero. You realize realize that twice now they started drives in Alabama territory after turnovers.
Yep.
Could do nothing.
Brian, tell us what's happening at TigerBait.com.
www.tigerbait.com. All the coverage of the game tonight and over the weekend, and the latest in recruiting, the latest in the coaching search, and we still have an interesting 3 weeks coming up. Look, this football team still got to win another game to be bowl eligible. And I know this, Ed Orgeron had an easy task this week getting ready. This team mentally ready and focused to play Alabama. Now we're going to see what he can do for next week to get this team focused and ready to play when they go to Arkansas.
And LSU's not been on an airplane since they went to Auburn. All right, Brian, appreciate it.
Thank you, BL.
Hey, talk. All right, talk.
All right, Brian Lazar of TigerBait.com. We had a couple of text messages. We'll see what Orgeron does. How's he respond to this on the road against Arkansas? We don't have a kickoff time yet, but you're suspecting in the evening?
Well, they had something released last week that Bama was going to be early with Mississippi State. Hey, by the way, Mississippi State with the big win today over Texas A&M. Florida gets shellacked at Arkansas. If you watched Arkansas, they play appreciably better at their place. It's going to be a very tough game. We know this is always a very physical game for LSU. Arkansas is in the benefit with the schedule every year playing LSU after Bama. This will be a great test for Ed Orgeron to get the guys up.
Let's go to Todd in Houston, Texas. Todd, good evening. You're on the postgame show.
Yes, hi. How y'all doing? I think it's ironic that some guy from Channel View, it's sad that he just, Jalen Hurts was from Channel View, which is near Houston, beat LSU. That's, very sad. But I just want to say I think LSU did I think that the effort was there and everything was there, but I wanted to talk about when I watched the game, it just seems like I knew that, you got to get Jalen Hurts would make a few mental errors, and he did just that, and knew that if they could just keep it close to the 2 or 3 minutes left, they had a shot to win. They did just that, and knew that if they played deep hard as they could, they'd have a shot to win. They did that, but the problem where they messed up was I watch football, every week, and have watched a lot of Alabama. And the team did not. Alabama went out there and was the most unfocused and just lethargic. That's the most lethargic if you watch Alabama. The most lethargic they have been all season in any game, and they kept making mistakes. And LSU never could jump up and get anything. And I just think that that's what really got it for LSU.
All right, Todd. Thank you for the call. Appreciate it.
I didn't think they were lethargic. I thought LSU did a hell of a job with defense. Look, Aranda did some new stuff in this game. He was bringing a lot of pressure. They were a lot more aggressive. They were playing closer, tighter. The LSU defense doesn't have any reason to hold their head down. But TK,
no, they did some good stuff.
Here's a sad story, though. Quarterback development under Les has been a problem. And recruiting offensive linemen and keeping those guys. You need 9 or 10, and they just don't have enough studs in the offensive line. And those are two areas that whoever the coach is going to be will have to get better at.
And I'm going to pull back my comment that the offensive line played good. Obviously, I misread that a little bit. Certainly when Brian pointed out the rushing stats and all that, maybe they had a play or two when they were good, but overall they did not. But again, I'm not trying to be like Curly Holman and beat a dead horse to death here, but that's a good defense over there.
Look, a lot of those guys are going to play on Sundays.
But then a text message, Ole Miss scored on them because they had a quarterback.
That was early.
But they had a quarterback.
They had a quarterback, but that was early in the year, and they jumped on them 24-3.
And I want to thank the text message that apparently the kickoff time is confirmed.
Yeah.
In Fayetteville, 6 o'clock next Saturday. Game will be on ESPN.
Yeah.
It'll put us on about 9:30ish, give or take a minute or two. So that's from a text message now. That's not from LSU, but you thought that would be the case because they announced the 2:30 game before this game was over, and then we already had Alabama sitting at 11. So LSU, Arkansas at 6. Now, what I've been told, buddy, is the Florida game's got to be 11 or 2:30. That was a concession in the whole deal to get Florida to come here, is they didn't want to play at night. So, and again, I didn't hear that from Joe Oliva. I heard that was all in the workings, and we'll get that confirmed.
Well, let's hope
maybe
that's
Monday.
2:30.
Maybe we'll get that confirmed on Monday. All right, we're going to take a break, come back. More phone calls, more text messages still to come. Ronnie Ranch from Tiger Stadium. Buddy Sanji, Tommy Krysan, you see the final score on your screen. If you're in that traffic on a smartphone, Alabama 10, LSU 0. We'll be back after this pause. Stay with us. Accord Eye Clinic Vision Source is located on Perkins Road in Baton Rouge, offering full-service optical and lab work. Dr. Shonda Accord and the professionally trained staff pride themselves on service, complete eye exams, help with contact lenses, and selection of frames featuring Silhouette, Gucci, Jimmy Choo, and all the top lines. State-of-the-art equipment including OptiMap, which digitally photographs your retina. Call Accord Eye Clinic for an appointment, 225-767-3937. That's 225-767-3937. Visit the website, visionsource-br.com. All patients of all ages are welcome. Accord Eye Clinic Vision Source.
Hello, my name is Debbie. Welcome to Debbie's Bridal, a Formal Affair.
My name's Raven. I work at Debbie's Bridal, and she makes your dreams come true.
I knew I could get myself out of this. I just needed some hope and some help.
I took the first step to recovery when I made the call.
If you're depressed, drinking, and using drugs, you may need help. And the Affordable Care Act guarantees coverage of substance abuse. Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment.
I had problems just getting to sleep, drinking and using pills every night.
I feel like I'm losing control. I'm afraid I'll lose my job or even my family.
Are you losing hope? You can recover and get back on track. Call now for hope and help with proven, gentle recovery programs.
I never thought that I could be somebody who didn't drink and use drugs.
I have something to hold on to for strength. I'm in recovery, getting the help I need.
Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment with someone who cares.
Call 800-383-8177. 800-383-8177.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Pelican Sports post-game show. Buddy Sanji, Tommy Krysan with you. WUBR, CBS Sports Radio, Baton Rouge, and, of course, Pelican Sports TV. Let's go to Roger in Baker. Roger, good evening. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Say like Donald Trump said, we need to go clean the swamp down there at LSU, especially the coaching staff. Isminger is not an offensive coordinator. He called some bad plays tonight, Tommy and Buddy. And I don't agree with the offensive philosophy. I'm doing fine tonight. How y'all doing tonight, Buddy and Tommy?
We're doing good, Roger. We wanted to let you talk.
I want to tell y'all, I'm going to say like Trump said, we need to clean the swamp down there, LSU, because the whole coaching staff need to be fired because this was a coaching error tonight. Our athletes is just as good as Alabama athletes, but we do not execute, Tommy. We do not execute, Tommy. Another thing, too. What they want out of the defense, they want blood out of the defense. The defense played their butts off tonight, but the offense can't move the ball. And I do believe that Brandon Harris should not be a forgotten son down there. Look, all Jalen Curtis did is ran Brandon Harris' offense.
Go ahead.
All I want to say is this, Tommy. I still think we need some coaching staff. We need some offensive people that can run the ball. It wasn't your fault. This boy is still the best young man in the nation. And Fournette, I'm going to say this here to you, man. Don't give up. Y'all keep the fight going on, and go Tigers.
All right, Roger, appreciate those comments. Buddy, text message, do you think Coach O will be around? I'll address that right now. There's not going to be a decision made either way tomorrow. Certainly if he'd have won against Alabama, you would think that'd be a big feather in his hat. Joe Alleva is going to wait till the season's over. He'll tell you we evaluate all coaches. We evaluate the tennis coach when the season's over, and that's when he's going to wait and make a decision going forward. So to answer the question, do I think Coach O will be given a permanent job? I need to see what happens in the next 3 weeks. They win the next 3 games by 21 points each. I might have to say, yeah. But they have not been on the road since he was named interim coach. They've not been in an airplane since the trip to Auburn. So we'll see what happens. And can they bounce back after an emotional and physical game against Bama? We've seen Bama beat them twice before in years past, in fact, going to Arkansas. So, I want to wait and see. I think that should be the attitude of everyone. I don't think that question would be, or should be answered tonight.
Great effort by everybody concerned. I thought Roger was a little tough on the coaches. Look, I agree. I didn't think Coach Ensminger had a great game plan tonight. I wanted to see a little bit more 3 wides. I wanted to see a little bit more Geis and Fournette and a little bit more of trying to throw the ball down. It's frustrating, TK. 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9, and you're throwing 3- and 4-yard passes. But Danny was under duress. Look, timing is a big factor with coaches. If Jimbo Fisher's ready to leave Florida State and they offer him a pile of money, then he's going to get the job over Coach O.
Right.
Jimbo's got a better track record. He's won a national championship. But we have to wait and see how all this happens and develops and works out, because it's all timing, TK.
Well,
you know that.
Yeah.
Herman was the guy everybody wanted a month ago, and now they have fallen off the wall and done terribly. So
you gotta let it wait. A message to all fans.
Yeah,
my
just
opinion,
chill out. It'll work itself out.
You wait till after the A&M game and then that weekend sometime. And look, they lose the next 3 games, you already know the answer to it. Okay, so we will wait and see. I understand the speculation. I understand the conversation. We're both going to talk about it on the radio at some point, as all our colleagues will. But the bottom line is there's going to be no decision until after the regular season's over.
But let's add this one point, and I know Roger was talking about firing everybody and Rocco and all that. Look, that was a hell of a game for 3 quarters, and there's no moral victory
against a hell of a team.
Against the hell of a team.
You might be tired of me saying it, but I think it's true.
That's won 21 straight now.
Let's
not act like these guys wasn't ready. They put up a hell of a fight. Look, LSU's got to get better quarterbacks, and they've got to get better offensive linemen.
Let's go to Robert in Baton Rouge. Robert, you're on the post-game show.
Good evening, Robert.
Hey.
Fire away, babe.
Well, I don't have any football expert, but I've been watching the Tigers since Y.A. Tittle and Zolly Schultz beat North Carolina when Charlie Tripp was they were number 1.
Well, thanks for calling us, Robert. And you're kind of staying up late tonight.
I know. I'm too old to stay up this late.
Robert, how old are you?
89.
Well, congratulations, young man.
That's great.
You're welcome. But I've got a gripe theory that I've developed over the years.
Go ahead, Robert.
Alabama is a better team. There's no question. But Alabama, you can't beat a better team with 3 bad calls from the officials. And we got that tonight.
All right, spell them out, Robert.
Huh?
Spell out the 3 bad calls.
All right. 1, the guy tackled our back 5 yards past the sideline.
That should have been a penalty. I agree with that. In front of the Bama bench.
Yep.
Right. The second one, we touched one on the goal line and got a 15-yard penalty.
Yeah.
And the other was the interception. The ball clearly hit the ground. I saw it.
Yep.
And you can't beat a team, a better team, with 3 bad calls. Over 50 years, I've noticed that. That's my gripe.
Also, a lot of people said Beckwith was held on the touchdown run by Hurts.
That's all I have to say. And Buddy brushed the calls aside at the start. Alabama was a better team, no question. But you can't beat a better team if you get bad calls.
Robert, I feel your frustration. Listen, Patrick Peterson was at the game tonight. He knows that he had the interception, and the SEC never admitted that. I didn't think the refereeing tonight determined the outcome. I didn't think it determined Bama to win and LSU to lose.
Well,
but
I don't know.
But the problem you have, Robert.
Momentum is a big thing.
Yeah, but the
you
problem
you get a penalty, you don't know what would have happened.
But the discretionary call, Robert, we were sitting here in the control room and outside and watching the game, and when the interception was called, TK, there was no way that they were going to overrule that, even though
understand that.
Everybody saw it. That's the problem that you have.
Everybody saw it, but Alabama always gets a call.
And they expect to get them. Hey, Robert, I feel your pain, buddy.
That's all I got.
Thank you, Robert. Thank you for the call. Thank you for staying up late and watching.
Thank you, Robert.
Appreciate it. 89. I hope I'm calling a show when I'm 89.
Hey, look,
that'd be a good thing. I hope I'm breathing.
But he brings in a good point. I didn't think it was that big a deal tonight to determine who actually won or lost. But I do think the frustration has boiled over for many, many years. And look, they're smart about it. You gave me a stat. LSU had 3 penalties tonight. Bama had 6. But on a discretionary call on the interception, Devin White hitting late. We saw Reuben Foster hit Danny Etling late.
Yeah, that should have been a flag, I thought.
They missed that call.
Well,
these are the
DJ
kind
Shaw
of things.
pulled down the Alabama cornerback once, too.
You're going to have some missed calls. I didn't
look,
think it determined the winner tonight, though.
You're probably tired of me saying this. If you want to backhand me, you can. Bama was the better team.
No, they were.
Bama might be in a 15-0 national championship team when it's all said and done.
And they were.
They may not. They may lose Mississippi State next week. But I'm saying if you looked at them all year and you looked at them tonight, LSU threw its best punch they had. Emotionally, Coach Orgeron said physically they were ready to go. Weathersby did get in the game a bunch, even though he didn't start at right tackle. I saw him out there a bunch. And Bama, I guess Bama fans are saying, we had 4th and goal, didn't get there. We missed a field goal. They thinking they missed a few opportunities. But when LSU gets the interception in Bama territory and gets nothing, gets the fumble recovery in Bama territory and gets nothing, you can overcome that against Jacksonville State. You can't overcome that against Alabama. That's my take. And Bama's a very good team. May win out, may lose next week to Mississippi State. I don't know, but those guys are pretty good.
They won't lose at home. They won 21 straight, and of course
that's the other thing. They won 21 straight football games.
Yeah.
Go find somebody else that's done that. It's hard to do.
Well, look, bottom line is this. It's the same old story. This is 6 consecutive games that LSU has. And I will tell you this, whether you read it on the social media sites, in the newspaper, hear it on TV, radio, Alabama and those players and those fans will give LSU a lot of credit. What I hate most of all about tonight is to have that kind of electricity and that kind of build-up, and all the former players
to the
there,
fans for being there.
and everybody with the build-up, and you can't score a point. It's such a deflating thing. But I think all the football pundits know that, look, Williams is going to play on Sunday. Allen is going to play on Sunday. Reuben Foster is going to play on Sunday. Eddie Jackson's hurt. He's going to play on Sunday. They've got studs across. Cam Robinson is going to play on Sunday. That's a kid from Monroe.
O.J. Howard will play.
No doubt. And so
now,
you have to give LSU credit, but they didn't make the plays, and you mentioned it a couple times. You get a turnover, you got to take advantage of it, because you realize here's one other thing we haven't mentioned. LSU and Alabama in bad field position all night. LSU had the first 3 possessions for Bama, 3 and out, and had field position starting at the 35-40. Bama was starting at the 6, couldn't convert.
Well, and when you look at it this way, you know, Brian Lazar made a good point when he talked about the quarterbacks that have played against Bama in this now 6-game losing streak. And, buddy, when we go back, and I said this on the radio during the week, you look at the type of quarterback who has had success against Alabama. Chad Kelly, he can move. Johnny Manziel that one year because he moved all over the place. Cam Newton in that big comeback game that time because he moved all over the place. Trevor Knight, when he was with Oklahoma in the Sugar Bowl, he ran it all over the field. If the quarterback can do what Hurts did to LSU tonight, if the quarterback can do that to Bama, you have a better chance of beating those guys or scoring points like Chad Kelly and Ole Miss have scored a lot of points on them in the last 3 years. But, you know, you go back to the recruiting, you go back to the development of the quarterback, and you got Danny Etling out of there. Look, I'm all for Danny Etling. He's a tough guy, smart guy. He's giving it his all. But he left Purdue because he couldn't get on the field.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're asking the backup quarterback at Purdue to come in here, play on the biggest stage in college football, and beat Alabama. And it was obvious that Danny was feeling the nerves earlier. It was obvious Coach Ensminger was struggling on what to call and getting in the play in time. They had to burn some timeouts.
I was surprised at the getting the plays in late, the delay of the game, the couple of clock snafus, in my opinion. Not calling a timeout after the first down with 2 minutes to go in the half, and then calling a timeout with 8 seconds to go to throw the ball to the end zone. And you allowed Bama to play with 1 second. I mean, you got to call that timeout with 4, and then you throw it up in the air, and whatever happens, and you don't get that one play. Nothing happened on that play, but they did take a snap, and they didn't kneel on it. They were going to try to, you know, see what they could. They knew they couldn't do nothing but one play. That's why you heard Danielson say might be a hook and lateral. You know, he might try something crazy here because that camera was on Kiffin during that when there was 1 second left. You could tell he wasn't telling him to kneel on the ball. So, all right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll go back to Tiger Stadium. Ronnie Ransom, Sports Choice Radio, Sports Choice TV, and the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame Foundation, the jumbo title now. He'll join us when we return with more here on WUBR, CBS Sports Radio, Baton Rouge, as well as Pelican Sports TV. Stay with us.
Cypress Lake Apartments are conveniently located off Segan Lane in Baton Rouge. Come see this community, which has many amenities including swimming pools, fitness room, playground, and much more. Beautiful views of Cypress Lake. 1, 2, 3-bedroom apartments are available. Stop by and see Cypress Lake Apartments. Give them a call at 225-293-6789 or visit online, cypresslake-apartments.net.
Don't let bugs bug you anymore. Call the bug man today.
And for termite protection, go green with Centricot. If it's good enough for Lady Liberty in the White House, then it's good enough for you. Eliminate the colony and eliminate termites for good.
Call 923-BUGS today.
Creel Tree Service is a licensed and insured tree service providing tree and stump removal, topping, trimming, cabling, pruning, and fertilizing. We have free stump removal with takedowns, free estimates, affordable rates, and senior citizens discounts. Call 774-TREE. That's 774-8733. Get your yard ready for the warmer weather. If it deals with a tree, call me, Creel Tree Service, 774-8733. That's 774-TREE.
Friends, family, and community in surrounding parishes who have lost vehicles due to the flood. North American Auto Group is here to help. We have discounted over 400 pre-owned vehicles with no water damage. In addition, we have lenders offering disaster relief financing programs. We will also help you with your insurance and GAP claims. Shop online at NorthAmericanAutoGroup.com or visit us at one of our 4 locations in Baton Rouge and Gonzales. North American Auto Group. We make it easy.
Since 1986, the family dental practice of Dr. Farrell Frugier, with state-of-the-art building and technology, and our highly trained staff have been dedicated to providing care and treatment to our patients of all ages. The experience and advanced training in cosmetic and restorative dentistry, TMJ, and treatment of snoring and sleep apnea allows Dr. Frugier to assist you in achieving the best in dental health. Call us today at 225-292-9700 to schedule your initial evaluation because we know how to make you smile.
Pelican Sports post-game show. We're going to get to Ronnie Rance in just a moment. We were just notified that a guy that has called this program for a long, long time, big fan of the show, big fan of Tigers Roar, Ron from Gretna. Those of you who have been watching for a long time know that you heard his voice. He was one of the first callers each and every week, and I know he watched Tigers Roar and passed away this week, so we were informed of that. So we want to say prayers to the rest of his family and friends, and we appreciated him, and hopefully his family can move forward.
Yeah, I had a cousin also pass last night, L.J. Sanji from New Orleans, so it's been a bad weekend for those. But we lost two great New Orleans Tiger fans. They'll be up in heaven talking about the ball game, and once again, we give those families our deepest sympathy.
Ronnie Rance, you were out at the stadium after the game. You ran into Arden Key and Lewis Neal. What did these guys have to say after the game?
Well, they were men of few words, fellas, that's for sure. Basically, those guys are on the defensive side of the ball, and obviously the defense played darn near about as good as it could. LSU's defense was 7 of 17 on third downs, and but about 4 allowed 7 of 17 third down conversions to Alabama, and really about 4 of those 7 third down conversions were just gut-wrenching, game-changing type third down conversions that they allowed. And I think towards the end we saw a couple. They both kind of said that the quarterback draws that were so successful, a lot of that had to do with fatigue, being on the field for a long time, losing some technique issues, and they characterize that and basically blame that on the fact that they were on the field a lot.
Yeah, they were on the field right at 34 minutes, few seconds below that. And Alabama did have some long drives. Their scoring drive was, I want to say, 12 plays, 90 yards. But Ronnie, LSU threw their best punch, but not capitalizing on the 2 turnovers they got in Alabama territory. Ultimately, that was one of the things that cost them the game.
Well, Ed Orgeron in his press conference was pretty straightforward. I mean, he didn't pull any punches. He just basically said that, they didn't play well enough on the offensive line. They got whooped up there, and then so it was a combination of obviously the pressure being allowed and being beat on that front, and then also the fact that Etling didn't play well, and then a few times that he did have time to throw the ball and they had open receivers, he didn't get it to him. So it was a total team collapse on the offensive side of the ball. They just didn't really give themselves a chance at all tonight.
Jumbo, as you were watching the game, and I know you talked to a lot of people during the game, but Leonard just didn't look like he was hitting the hole with the kind of speed and confidence that you'd like. It looked like the same old stuff from last year when it was 19 carries for 31 yards. This year, 17 for 35. Geis got 2 pops and got 8 yards. Any talk with the people you were watching the game with around wondering about why not more of Geis getting a chance? Because Leonard, to me, just did not look like he was going to break one. He almost broke one for a while there, but he just looked like an average running back tonight, and Alabama's made him look like that the last couple of years.
Yeah, it was, to me, it was a carbon copy of a year ago.
Yeah.
A carbon copy of a year ago. No penetration, no push by the LSU offensive line. As soon as the guys were getting the ball, they were having to, make a move to avoid a tackler in a hole. And I don't know if it's a combination of maybe Leonard's truly not 100% or what, but you can't dance, you can't try to run backwards or around. And this Alabama defense is too fast. And for Geis, there were a lot of people that thought, why isn't he getting the ball more? Oh, why don't they put him in the backfield at the same time?
Sure. And
do some things together with them. Geis had 2 carries for 8 yards. He had a 5-yard run. He had a 3-yard run, and that was it.
Yep.
Leonard Fournette averaged 2.1 yards per carry on 17 touches.
Second question, Ronnie. Ensminger did have a great game as well. A lot of clock management problems, getting the play in on time. Coach O addressed the play calling, and it seemed like they went relatively conservative. Chark caught a deep ball, didn't see him much late, didn't throw to the tight end. I know Danny missed some shots down there, but a lot of people griping about the play calling tonight.
Yeah, and, they didn't go into much explanation of that, but I was surprised at the conservative nature at times. But, and I'll go to this. In 2011, in that game of the century when LSU won 9-6 in overtime, Jared Lee was overmatched. It was clear early on in that game. Especially when I was on the sidelines, you could see the look in his eye. I mean, he was just almost fearful. There was no chance LSU was going to move the ball with Jared Lee at quarterback. So what did they do? They went to put Jordan Jefferson in. They went to a little remedial, option package. It wasn't great, but it was effective enough to move the ball a little bit. And tonight, it was obvious that Etling was not going to get it done. He looked like a third-string Purdue transfer quarterback. So why not give Brandon Harris an opportunity, run something else, run some option stuff? It might not be very effective, but it's better than knowing you have no chance the way Etling was playing.
Ronnie, tell us all about Sports Shorts TV and Sports Shorts Radio.
Sports Shorts TV, Mondays at 9, Tuesdays at 8, right here on Pelican Broadcasting. And then we've also got Sports Shorts Radio, Mondays 6 to 8 on ESPN Radio. It'll be spicy, as Buddy says, for this week.
Real spicy. Booty will have something to say about the quarterback play. Ronnie, the defense, though, I thought was tremendous, especially the first three quarters. And how about the game plan that Dave Aranda have? I don't think people can talk enough about what Aranda did against Lane Kiffin in that first half.
Well, one last thing to leave you guys with, and is that Coach Orgeron made a comment a couple of weeks ago that we're going to recruit a drop back quarterback and all that. Why do we need a drop back quarterback? Everybody runs a spread. Everybody has that's successful has a quarterback that's mobile that can burn you with their feet. Alabama couldn't throw the football in the second half, but they were able to move the ball because they had an athlete at quarterback. Why do we have to have a drop back quarterback? The game has changed. You don't have to have that.
All right, Ronnie, we appreciate it as always.
Thank you, Jumbo.
All right, text message says they were wondering why Harris didn't get in, and then you and I had said no, and Ronnie brought it up.
Well,
I never, at no part during the game did I think, okay, Harris might come in. I mean, I'm just
I didn't either.
My 2 cents worth.
But when he brings it in with the parallel, now the game's changed from 11 to 16 offensively.
Right.
National championship last year, 45-40. This year, LSU, has scored some numbers. Ole Miss put 43 on Bama. And so the game has moved to a different but he brings in a good point. But I don't think they wanted to mess with Danny Etling's confidence. And Brandon hadn't played in so long. You don't know what you're going to get. But the zone read, I think, is the point he's trying to make. You've got to be able to get your quarterback outside and make some plays. And 6 first downs and 125 yards. A lot of questions.
Brian said, when we asked, why didn't, should have Geis gotten the ball more? Well, he might not have been able to run either. I mean, LSU had 33 yards rushing on 27 carries. Now, that includes 15 yards in losses by Etling, which for some reason NCAA still tags on the rushing stats when it's a sack. So if you throw them 15 back in there, they got 27 carries for 48 yards, 21 carries for 48 yards, which, as Brian says, just a couple of notches above 2 yards a carry. You're not going to beat anybody getting 2 yards a carry on a night.
Geis averaged 4 yards a carry.
Right, we only carried the ball twice.
But he needed more opportunities. I just cannot understand why him and Fournette were not in the backfield at the same time.
That surprised me.
And here's the other thing, and I've been waiting to say it, but bringing Malachi Dupree and Traven Durrell in motion to block a 300-pound D lineman is not going to work. No. I remember they did it with Trey Quinn. To me, Coach Insminger took a step backwards.
All right, here's some quick look at some stats for you. Danny Etling, 11 of 24 for 92 yards, no touchdowns, 1 interception. Jalen Hurts throwing the ball, 10 of 19 for 107 yards, 1 interception. Now, here's the difference in the game. Carrying the football, Jalen Hurts, 20 carries for 114 yards. That's over 5 yards a carry. He ran for the only touchdown of the football game. Alabama rushed 51 times for 216 yards. LSU with 33 yards rushing. Receiving, not much on either end. Shark did have 3 catches for 45 yards. Dupree, 3 catches, but only 17 yards. Let's see, 6 different people caught the ball for LSU, but wasn't quite enough. Arden Key recovered the fumble when Frank Herron knocked that out. Am I correct? Yeah, okay. So that's a quick look at some of the individual stats in the game tonight. Flipping it over to team stats. This one surprised me. You said it. I didn't realize LSU only got 6 first downs tonight. I didn't think they had 20, but I thought it would have been a higher number than 6. Alabama, on the other hand, 16 first downs, but probably half of those were in that one drive. Third down efficiency, Bama 7 of 17, LSU 4 of 15. Total offense, Alabama 323. That's a low number for them. LSU 125. Buddy, as you mentioned, penalties, Bama 6 for 29 yards. LSU 3 penalties for 20 yards. Bama had 2 turnovers, LSU 1. Time of possession 33:55 for Bama, 26:05 for LSU. Basically an 8-minute difference.
No moral victories. Everybody wanted to see LSU pull the upset. You certainly thought Bama was going to win. I thought it was going to be a special night. I thought with everything that was built up, the 2 weeks to get ready, the galvanization of the LSU program. Listen, you got to give Coach O a lot of credit on some of the things that he's done. These are not any of these players that he's recruited as a head coach. He's been responsible as he was a recruiting coordinator. But TK, got to get better at the line of scrimmage, got to get better quarterback play. And, it hurts to see them play so hard and really so many great defensive plays that were made. You mentioned in Beckwith the 16 tackles, and Duke Riley had a stretch there where he was awesome.
Dwayne Thomas played well.
Dwayne Thomas was phenomenal. A goal line stand, all the things, and yet you got a goose egg on the
talking about quarterbacks that can move around, I think they got one on campus. Maybe one day we'll see Lindsey Scott Jr., the kid from Zachary. He's not the tallest guy in the world. That's been well documented, but he's very smart, very athletic. And I kept hearing that word athletic when Ronnie was talking and other people were talking tonight. Now, he's not going to play this year. They're going to throw the red shirt on him. We'll see what happens if he can compete for the spot next year.
Well, they got a lot of quarterbacks.
That's the kind of guy they need, though.
But they've got Narcisse coming in. They've got Brennan coming in, and we'll see how that plays out. Here's an interesting tidbit. I thought you would mention it.
Uh-oh.
Jalen Hurts' brother played against Southern today. And, of course,
Jaguars won their 6th in a row.
Won, so one's feeling the Hurts, and the other one's feeling pretty good. I will tell you this. When you read your paper tomorrow, those who still get the Advocate or the Pick, or you still the old-fashioned way, I think you're going to have mass respect for LSU, the atmosphere.
What happens to him in the polls?
Probably going to drop
down to 18, 19.
Yeah, I was going to say drop down to
3
19.
or 4 spots down.
Yeah, 3 or 4
Some
spots
other people
down.
got beat
But
today. Baylor got clocked, so they may not fall too far.
Florida was a mirage, and A&M, went cuckoo. Got beat and hammered by Mississippi State. Came back to make a 7-point game.
You talk about Hurts' brother playing for Texas Southern, a former LSU assistant coach to head coach at Texas Southern. Your old partner, Mike Haywood.
Yeah, that's right.
So anyway, running back coach at LSU years ago. I want to say when DiNardo was here?
Yeah.
Was Mike here when Coach DiNardo was here? Mike was a player at Notre Dame.
His first running back that he coached at LSU, Kevin Falker, might have been good.
Kevin was pretty good.
Kevin will make you look like a good coach. Hey, and
I don't know that, as you said, I don't know that Kevin could have got yardage tonight. I really got to pull back my comment about the line playing good. I made a mistake.
I don't want to beat up Leonard, but you and I and everybody saw that. He just wasn't looking like Leonard Fournette. And it's a shame and it's frustrating when you've got nowhere to run. And like Ronnie said, it was basically a carbon copy of last year, which is why I have criticized the play calling. I just thought they should have spread them out a little bit more and tried to do some other things. But TK, when you're under duress like that, look, that was a tough night.
Well, Coach Saban said it about 3 or 4 weeks in. He thought this was the fastest defense that he's ever had. Now, think about that. He had a defense when he was at LSU that put like 14 guys in the NFL by the time they all were eligible to be in the NFL. And he's saying this one was the fastest one. That was why my prediction, I had LSU only getting 16 points because I didn't think they could get the ball going on this defense. Now, LSU's defense obviously shut Bama's offense down to the degree that they did. And that was that. But, it's going to be important now, buddy. A key is before we go to break, You got to go on the road to Arkansas. It is a 6 o'clock game. I checked the LSU website while you were visiting with Ronnie. It is a 6 o'clock kickoff in Fayetteville. It will be on ESPN. We'll be here about 9:30 or so next week. So
that'll be a tough game.
That is official. That's on the LSU website as that being a time. We thank the caller, the text message who came in earlier.
And they've beaten LSU the last 2 years. And
3 years ago was the long pass at the end of the game, the 99-yard drive.
They will want them some LSU next weekend.
And they're feeling good just whooping up on Florida today.
Sure.
And, of course, Florida comes here the following week. We don't know a kickoff time on that. We may find that out tomorrow, actually.
Yeah.
Monday.
Probably
I'm
Monday,
sorry.
yeah. I'm
Monday.
thinking maybe 2:30
Hey,
of that.
I do want to remind you, this television program repeats on Sunday morning at 9 o'clock and at 10:30. Also, sometime mid-morning, we'll have it up on the YouTube page, youtube.com/Pelican Broadcasting, where you can watch Tigers Roar, Sports Shorts, Rapping with BK, post-game show, youtube.com/Pelican Broadcast, and that thing's growing. We've tried to amp it up in the last month, and we appreciate the folks that are checking it out. We'll take the final break of the evening. We'll come back, put a wrap on things. You can squeeze in another text message, maybe one phone call we can squeeze in. Buddy Sanji, Tommy Christ, and Bama wins 10-0. We're back after this pause. Stay with us.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
Perkins Road Veterinary Hospital is a full-service veterinary hospital committed to your pet's health. We offer advanced diagnostic and therapeutic medical services, laser surgery, dog and cat diets, and treats, along with stress-free boarding. Dr. Ritchie sees patients for routine checkups to keep your loved ones happy, also advanced medical and surgical cases. We have separate condos for cat boarding and large climate-controlled canine boarding. Our boarding dogs get to have fun in a very large play yard several times a day. Laser therapy is a service that we offer to heal wounds and help our patients that suffer from chronic pain. Laser therapy is a wonderful adjunct treatment for neurologic and arthritic pain with no side effects. Your pets are family members and deserve the best and highest quality of care. Dr. Ritchie and his staff greatly respect the human-animal bond and are committed to exceeding your expectations.
My name is Dr. Nicole Rogers, and I'm here in Old Metairie, Louisiana at Hair Restoration of the South, where your hair is our care. And I'd like to invite you to come and visit and discuss various options for treatment of thinning hair. These can include both medical and surgical options. You don't have to go straight to surgery. In the meantime, feel free to check out our website, hairrestorationofthesouth.com, and we look forward to seeing you soon.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
All right, we continue with the post-game show. Final segment announcement for you coming up shortly after this program, because this is on radio and TV on WUBR, Louisiana Music Hall of Fame, radio time. Yeah, all the artists are from Louisiana. They're members of the Louisiana Music Hall of Fame. Going to be running it through tonight if you want to check it out, and it'll be there all next week at night, Fridays after Doug Norn or after Ken Trahan. So a little stuff. We're going to be putting it on Facebook, Twitter. Well, I'll be mentioning it on the radio. We're going to get a TV spot made for it, and you'll be able to hear some music through the night after the regular program and stuff here on WUBR. You can do it on the TuneIn app, the smartphone, on your computer at TuneIn, the whole bit. Louisiana Music Hall of Fame. Check out their website. Check out their Facebook page, Louisiana Music Hall of Fame. We thank Mike Shepard with the Hall of Fame for working really hard to help us get this project going. Buddy, some final thoughts and comments as we wrap this thing up. For the 6th year in a row, Alabama beats LSU. This scored 10-0. I think a night of missed opportunity for LSU, coupled with the fact that Alabama's a damn good team.
Yeah, no doubt about it. By the way, don't forget, folks, put your clocks back an hour when you go to bed, so you will have an hour to get to sleep. I know the Alabama people that came into town are well represented, as always. The Crimson Tide traveled well. Your buddy over at Cadillac Cafe, Anthony Gallo, very happy right now. Look, LSU played their butts off, but when you're playing a team that has had the #1 recruiting class 5 years in a row, the disparity is at the line of scrimmage. LSU has done great with the skill people, but TK, what's rated higher in the recruiting game? Quarterbacks, wide receivers, and skill people, or linemen?
Linemen.
And a Cam Robinson loss is a big loss. He's been their left tackle for 3 years. He'll go to the pros. Tim Williams has made himself into a hell of a draft possibility in the first round or late second. You look at the line of scrimmage, that's where Alabama won this game. Jalen Hurts was frazzled and out of his game. LSU's defense, give Coach Aranda and all the defensive guys a lot of credit. Hell of a game plan, executed well. Unfortunately, because they could not convert on third down and convert first downs, the defense got tired. Invariably, Alabama was able to beat LSU's team down and get to 10 points. But look, nobody's caring about a moral victory, but I thought they played hard. I thought they played with a lot of passion, but you got to help. Josh Crowden, nice ball game. Special teams not a factor in this thing, but LSU, once again, at the offensive line, I mentioned it, the offensive tackles had a rough night. And we saw Malone get hurt. Maya Tahuma went over to the left tackle spot. Toby Weathersby played most of the game after the first quarter at right tackle. Got to get better at the offensive line, and Danny Etland did play really with a lot of nerves tonight, as you can expect. I mean, that's the biggest game that kids ever played in.
Huge tip of the hat to the crowd, the fans. The campus was packed all day. I talked to my friend that works at one of the private parties. She said she's never seen a crowd like that in years.
Yeah.
Of course, the weather was perfect. And a huge tip of the hat to the Tiger fans who many are still on campus. Many might be in a traffic jam, but for showing up and bringing electricity to the stadium that I don't think we've seen that electricity there in quite some time. So a huge compliment to the fans and all of those people for making, like I said during the week, whoever invented college football, maybe they had tonight in mind, with a packed stadium and 2 football teams slugging it out, one of them the #1 team in the country, and so much. I'd made a comment to some people on the text message. There's so much talent on that field, both sidelines. There's a lot of guys. Somebody said 40 to 45 of these guys will end up in an NFL camp if you count both teams. Might not make a roster, but they're going to get a camp with an opportunity, and many will make a roster. So LSU's got to get rid of it, regroup. Got to hit the road for the first time under Coach Orgeron. 6 o'clock kickoff in Fayetteville on ESPN next Saturday.
Fans take a little bit from this game. Excellent performance, but just not good enough. There's a reason they've won 21 straight, and I think once again, if you really want to assess the LSU football team, got to get a little bit better at the line of scrimmage, TK.
I would agree with that, and they're going to learn. They're going to learn from this. Okay, a few things were identified. Again, I'll say it for the last time. Alabama's a damn good team. Okay, they've won 21 straight, is it now?
Yes.
21 straight. They were #1 team in the country. LSU went toe-to-toe with them for 3 quarters. I never have been, never will be in the moral victories, but they got to take some good out of this and go take care of Arkansas next week. On behalf of Buddy Sanji and everybody in the Pelicans TV crew, my name's Tommy Chrysan. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Ryan from Gretna, rest in peace.